What's going on, guys? We're back at it again. I had filmed an intro and everything for the new track bar arriving, but Iron Rock Offroad accidentally sent it to my house instead of the shop. So I'm going to show you guys that and we'll get this video started. Well, here we have it, guys. She is good as new. They gave me a jam nut, a new male end, and a new track bar, and also the hardware kit that was ripped open. So I got a new one of that. The Jeep's over there sitting on the lift, and we got to figure out what we're doing with the rear brake lines and stuff, and
no idea.
We got to put that axle in. This video is gonna be fun, guys. It's probably gonna be a couple more parts until we get this thing done, so enjoy. We had a headache at O'Reilly's, but we got some brake lines and they are bolted down, trimmed up, flared. I mean, it's just about ready for testing. I think we're gonna do the front end first and stuff and get that out of the way, and then we're gonna deal with all the brakes and all the small kinks in the road after we get the entire lift done. For right now, I'm looking at the instructions on these flex joints here. We're going to be assembling these flex joints into my lower control arms, or the long arms I should say. And it's going to be interesting. It shouldn't be too hard as long as you just follow the instructions. So, what's going on, guys? Time got away from us last night, and we got a little ahead of ourselves, and I didn't film, and I ended up going home. Ignore my coworker in the back. He's doing some work in the sandblaster. I'm going to show you guys what I'm up to right now. Alright, as we speak, guys, I'm taking apart this front end. Last night we were wrenching on the long arms, and we got those complete. They're all put together, the bushings are in, they just need to be torqued down. But that's going to be after we pull everything out of the front end and get everything mocked up. Here to film with me, and I'm gonna be just jumping in and out with stuff to tell you guys and let you guys know what I'm doing. As of right now, I'm pulling the knuckles off the Dana 30 that's on my Jeep right now, and I'm putting them on the conversion Dana 30. And the reason you guys are probably asking why did I do a Dana 30 to Dana 30 swap, well, I'll show you a couple different reasons why. Alright, we're gonna start off by looking at the 97 axle. If you guys notice over there, it's got a hollow upper control arm mount, and these lower control arm mounts, they're just a little bit thinner and a little more flimsy. You guys can see kind of how the two axles look in comparison when I move over to that other axle. The other reason is this axle has 355s and the other one has 373s. My 488 has 373s, and like I said before, I wanted to do 410s, but I'm gonna take what I can get and run with it. So it's just a lot easier to swap out axles than to do a whole ring and pinion. Looking at this older style Dana 30 from that 88 Jeep Cherokee, there's the upper mount that I was talking about on the 97 that's hollow. This one's solid. This will be all blocked off for the single piece conversion. You guys can also see that these guys are just a little bit thicker, a little beefier. They're just made with a little more love. And these are my 97 knuckles, spindles, whatever you guys call them. On the end, I got to do the other side. You guys can see the difference in the brakes. This one's fixed into the knuckle, spindle, whatever the heck you guys call it. And this one bolts. And also the pads are a lot, like, I don't know, they're just made differently. Here's the shaft that comes out of it. This shaft goes from, this end is right here, and obviously the spline end is in the pumpkin. And then this guy out here, specifically saved for this video. Here's the outer shaft. And you guys saw that collar over there. I threw the fork away. Actually, no, I didn't. I think it's in this box. There's the fork. And there's the collar. And that'll sit there. And this fork right there rides in here. And when you pull your four-wheel drive lever, it actuates and it sends a vacuum pressure to this little actuator here, and it'll shift your collar over for you. See? And that's what engages your four-wheel drive. 4 on the fly. They've obviously invented better transfer cases now and better methods for 4 on the fly. But I thought that was pretty nifty and I wanted to show you guys. As you guys saw on that time lapse there, we got that knuckle off and steering off the pitman arm up here. All I gotta do is get the factory track bar and disconnect the control arms, upper and lower, and also the drive shaft, and this axle is free to come out. Before I do that though, guys, I'm going to throw that knuckle over here on this side, bolt it up, and we should be good to go. We're up in the air here. Got the nuts off these control arm bolts. I've got to get these upper control arms out. We'll lower her back down and then knock these bolts out. The drive shaft is disconnected, hanging down there. Shocks. The only thing that's holding our track bar, those are just those couple bolts up here and right up in there. So before you know it, the axle will be out. Just like that, guys. The front axle is out. I unbolted lower control arm, upper control arms, shocks, all the steering, brakes, just about everything that connects to the front axle. Just like that. She's disconnected. So I went out and grabbed some dinner, came back and started knocking out the Crossmember. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get this guy in here. Just got to throw it all together nice and loose. Don't tighten up those bolts, make sure everything fits, and then slowly start to tighten it up and sit your transmission / transfer case onto it, and then tighten up the bolts and torque them down. One of my nuts, jam nuts that are welded inside of the unibody broke. It's supposed to look like this side. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do about getting in there and installing another piece of hardware on that. And they didn't say in the instructions that you use your old bolts for your control arms, but you do. I had to look that up. So it's just been a little bit of a pain in the neck, guys. I'm gonna try to get this axle over here and underneath the Jeep. That way I can start throwing everything together and try to get this thing looking like a normal Jeep again. What's going on, guys? It's about 1 o'clock. I look like I'm freaking homeless. I look like I have a mullet. But she's starting to come along. She's starting to look like she'll lift the Jeep. The next thing on the list is obviously the steering setup. Not everything's tightened down. It's kind of just held on in there, if you guys can see. I'm pretty stoked. I'm just exhausted. I am exhausted. So that's that, guys. Oh, there's me. What's up? I am slowly but surely working on this guy. I know I haven't filled in much. There's just a lot to do and a lot going on that I don't really want to handle my phone. As you can see, my hands are black. That axle is covered in grease. I've just been scraping stuff off of it. The floor is disgusting. It's just one of those things, guys, but she's coming along. She's coming along, so slowly but surely we will have a lift kit on her. So like I said, guys, the steering system is up next. I didn't do an unboxing for this. I totally forgot about it. It was sitting on the side of my toolbox over there, and yeah, I left it hanging. But this is the Iron Rock over the knuckle steering kit. It's like 350 bucks or something like that. I got the upgraded 5/8 hardware, which is a major pain in the ass, especially when your drill bit goes dull and like the back of the drill bit just, I don't know, takes a shit. But I finally got them drilled out, both knuckles and the pitman arm. As you guys can see, this one's already got the 5/8 hardware in it. It's not tight or anything. It's got a Heim joint. It's gonna run across to that side over there and then back up to the pitman arm. It's super simple, over the knuckle. Really dope. I ran it on my last XJ. So I'm gonna start throwing this stuff together, and from there, guys, I'll show you what's going on. I really want to explain it, but it's a little bit of a lengthy process, and it's actually 3 o'clock in the morning. But as you guys can see here, I'll show you a picture on the front of the page. I upgraded the hardware, like I said, 5/8, so you just gotta get a drill bit and you have to drill out the knuckles. And once that's done, all the hardware just slides in, and they provide you washers, jam nuts, and sleeves and everything to do this steering system, guys. Sorry I messed that up. But here's some better pictures, as you guys can see. This is the side that I'm about to work on right now. That crosses over to the pitman arm. I'm gonna hop on this, guys, and once I'm done, I'll obviously show you and probably wrap this video up, and we'll get back to it tomorrow. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm done for the night. The steering is mocked up. It's not tightened up or anything. These are all loose. This is how it's gonna sit. I had to tap 2 of the ends to get some of these fittings to fit. These Heims here. This one needed to be tapped and the far one needed to be tapped. There's a tap there. Real pain in the ass. I mean, it's a great steering kit, but I've never had this much issues. Other than that, guys, it looks great. I'm exhausted. I'm wrapping this video up. Alright, guys, well, it's a wrap here. As you guys can see, I am about to fall asleep. The Jeep looks great. Everything's kind of mocked up. Everything needs to be torqued down, gone over. Make sure I have anti-seize on everything. Make sure, I mean, this thing's like drooping down. I got to put shocks in. There's still a bunch of things, but this was like the major, you know, big difficult, pain in the neck, all the, you know, ugh. It's just been a fight tonight, guys, and it's just been mind-boggling. Really annoying me. It looks great. I love it, but gosh, man, it's just, hopefully it's worth it, guys. But that's that. I'm gonna wrap it up. I know it wasn't too informative. It was just keeping you guys going, keeping you guys updated with the Jeep. So if you guys like the video, please hit that like button, drop a comment below, let me know, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. I'm gonna go wash my hands and go to bed. Later.